Hey everybody, this is Dr. Michael Breus, the sleep doctor, and I'm going to be giving you some sleep tips to beat the summer heat. Our core body temperature cycle goes up, up, up until around between 10 and 11 o'clock at night and hits a peak, and then it has to come down in order for our brain to release melatonin. Melatonin is actually generated in two different places in the body. 85% of it is in your gut. Most people have no idea about that. The rest comes from your pineal gland in your head. The pineal melatonin, that's very particular kind of melatonin that's sort of more cerebral. So once you hit that peak, the signal is the temperature drop to make it release. And now remember, melatonin is like key that starts the engine for sleep. So if you don't have that, like if you can't put the key in the engine, you got a big problem. And that's the first place where heat becomes an issue, is if you don't get the drop, then you don't get the start. But let's say you get the drop, but then, I don't know, 3/4 of the way through the night, you get warm, like you're in menopause and you get a hot flash, or the heater kicks on, or you got your covers are too on, or whatever. There's some interesting points in time in the evening when you have a greater likelihood of waking up, and probably specifically due to temperature. So what happens is your body temperature falls until somewhere between like 2 and 4 in the morning, and then it makes this curve to go back up. And if you're hot, then you go straight up. So instead of this like nice slow back into reality, if you're hot, it just goes whoop like that, and then you're up. And in a lot of cases, you're not even sweating and you don't even realize it. And so you're up and you're like, what's going on? I don't know why I'm up. And it's probably because of heat. So the big question then becomes, all right, great. So we get it. Heat messes with sleep. What are you supposed to do about it, Michael? So there's a couple of different things you can do. So one, cool the environment. Two, cool the body, right? So let's talk about environment, and then we'll work our way to the body. So environmentally speaking, there are multiple climates in a room, believe it or not. So there's the hot air that's above you, because remember, hot air rises. Then there's the ambient temperature. And then there's the microclimate that's underneath the covers. So when you look at microclimates underneath the covers, that's where the problem has a tendency to lie, right? And so depending upon what your sheets are and your comforter and kind of what you've stacked on there, whether or not heat can dissipate becomes an issue. So if heat can't get out and gets trapped in the covers underneath you, as that warmth continues, you will then begin to perspire. As you perspire, you create more humidity underneath this microclimate. And then what happens is the humidity it's like you're in a sauna from your neck down all of a sudden, right? Because your body's generating all this heat, right? And so you've got to do something to either open up the covers and let that heat and humidity out and then come back type of thing. Something maybe has to suck the air out or something along those lines, or you can artificially cool the environment, right? And so a couple of different ways to do that. So there are moisture wicking sheets that will help pull that moisture away. There are devices called a chili pad, which you can put underneath the sheet, and it's got a little line of water that runs through it that you can make cold or warm. There's this other thing that you can put on your head that will actually make your head much, much cooler. I actually use that one personally myself. It's called the EBB, E-B-B. If you go to the website EBB Therapeutics, it's amazing. I call it the head chiller, but that's not the real name for it. But it's pretty remarkable because they've discovered a very specific temperature range that if they put it onto your forehead, it not only makes you fall asleep more quickly, it increases your overall quality sleep. It's actually quite impressive. Those are the types of body things that you can try to do. A couple of other things besides like going out and buying something is, be cognizant of, what are you wearing? I would argue you should sleep in the nude if you have a tendency to be hot, because then you have a much better chance to thermoregulate because you don't have so many layers, on you. I would also really consider having a different comforter, for each season, right? A lot of people don't do that. They don't think about it. They're like, oh, I've still got my comforter on from December. It's like, and you wonder why you're hot? Like, come on, like this isn't rocket science here, And then also just circulating the air can be very, very effective. And then maybe sleeping with just a sheet if like you don't want to turn on your air conditioning because it's too expensive or what have you. I used to live in Scottsdale, Arizona, and when it was 112 degrees outside, there's only so much cool air you can pump through your house, and it's just, it's not going to work very well. So it's important to do that. And some people will take a cool shower before bed, and some people find that to be relieving as well. But whatever you can do to lower that temperature is going to be helpful for sure.